Good afternoon, guys. How are you guys doing?
Good.
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 Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys for attending this meeting today. I would like you guys to share a little bit about your progress on the project. Well, guys, what did you guys do last week? What's your progress? Who wants to start first? Bo, do you want to start first?
Uh, sure, no problem. As the first week, I carefully read the paper what we are going to reproduce and study the various knowledge points, such as how to use logs and the difference between various logs and what are optimistic logs and the pessimistic logs, and the final how to implement them in our programs.
All right, pretty good. What about other guys? John, what about you?
Okay. Yes. Last week I focused on setting up the foundation for this project. I was reviewing the project scope and objectives, and to ensure the alignment with the documentation. Additionally, I worked on the setting up the development environment, including installing Java and making sure that necessary tools were in place to get started. That's what I did last week. Thank
All
you.
right, get it. What about you, Suyuan?
I reviewed the project scope and objective, and I particularly focus on the difference between the ad hoc transactions and traditional database transactions. And I also working with our team member to discuss our roles in the team and and I did some research on the paper to get a deep understanding of the content.
All right, good. What about you, Yaya?
I think I'm similar to you guys, and actually, I found that in this paper, our focus is on the pessimistic locking and optimistic locking, and we found a lot of results in Bilibili and if you want, we can share with you. And I read some paper on IEEE about this optimistic locking. And because in this project, I found that the optimistic locking is the core things. Like it's assumed that the conflicts are very rare. So it means it's not a lot and it will allow the multiple transactions to read the resources in the same time without locking them. So I feel that maybe, yeah, that's what I did this week.
Yeah, I agree with you. Actually, I did quite the similar things because, I just explore more about the locking mechanisms, like you just said, optimistic locking and pessimistic. And I think we will majorly use the optimistic locking method to address this problem. Because the original paper mainly discussed the building mechanics in the database, MySQL, and the other one, the ad hoc transactions. And we came up with the optimistic locking mechanism to address these issues. So yeah, I definitely think we should explore more on that concept. All right. So what are your plans for the next week? Bo?
Yeah, in my opinion, in the next week, I plan to continue reading the paper first to make sure I can totally understand what the author said. And at the same time, I plan to work with everyone to develop the next stage of the plan and including building the software environment and the database. That's all what I thought.
All right, Joe?
For this week, I have three key priorities. So first one is finalizing the project plan. This involves setting the clear milestones for each phase to effectively track progress. And second is database setup. And I will begin working on the MySQL and structuring the database for the future development. And the third one is architecture design. I will draft the architecture for integrating optimistic locking into the backend, ensuring there's a clear plan for managing concurrency. That's it. Thank you.
Right. So yeah.
For me, I will work with the team member to finalize the timeline and assign specific tasks for implementing the ad hoc transactions. And then I will start working on the design of the ad hoc transaction mechanism. And I will focus on the coordination of multiple database operations using fine-grained locking strategies. And then I'll begin implementing some of the key findings from the paper related to the to avoiding false conflicts in high contention workloads.
All right. What about you, Yao Yao?
For me, next week, I feel I will do some literature review to learn more about this locking mechanism. And just like you guys said, maybe I will still finalize the plan with you guys to discuss which way is the best way to replicate this experiment result. And I will watch more YouTube video or Bilibili to learn more about this mechanism to ensure that in the future we can do the experiment more fluently. Yeah, that's my plan.
All right. So yeah, about my plan, aside from what you guys just shared, I would like to actually, I'm quite interested in like explore more on the original source code of some like software applications that the original paper have mentioned, like the Discourse, yeah, I remember, and Spotify and so on. Because the original paper deeply explore like the original source code and express some example code or like code squares, like some SQL sentences and so on. So yeah, I definitely think I could do that as well to deeply explore the mechanisms. So yeah, so what are some of the difficulties you guys have met, Bo?
Yeah, about this question, I think about it for a while. Well, during this period, it will definitely not be smooth sailing, and we may encounter some problem in the first stage. The first questions I thought we may met is insufficient hardware resources. In this paper, a high performance servers 2 plus 12 cores, 128 gigabytes of memories was used. So if we use a lower specification virtual or physical machine, it may encounter performance bottlenecks and be unable to handle large scale concurrent loads. And the other question we may be made is improper database configurations. The default configurations of MySQL or other database language may not support high concurrence transaction processing, resulting in performance bottlenecks or errors in the database during testing. And also, we may met some problem about applications dependencies. Some open source applications, such as Broadleaf and Mastodon, may rely on specific language versions or libraries, leading to compatibilities issues during installing and deployment. That's all the question I thought we maybe met. Thank you.
Okay. What about you, Joe?
About me, in terms of impediments, so one potential challenge might arise from configuring the development environment. Specifically, there could be issues with the integration of MySQL. However, I will address those as they come up and keep you informed of any major roadblocks. Thank you.
Okay, Siyuan?
For me, understanding the best way to implement the pessimistic and optimistic ad hoc transactions mentioned in the paper is challenging, especially in terms of maintaining the flexibility while ensuring coherency control. And also aligning my understanding with the team members and especially on how to implement ad hoc transaction without causing performance bottlenecks is also challenging.
Okay, so Yao.
I think the most biggest difficulty I've encountered is because I never heard about the locking mechanism before. I think last time I heard about it on the operating system course, so I feel that when I read other papers, I feel I can't really understand them. And actually, there's one thing I heard Bora have already mentioned that actually in this project, we need like 128 gigabyte for the memory. So I don't think I think most of us we don't have this kind of memory in our machine, but maybe we can use something like the cloud or virtual machine to deal with that. Yeah, that's my opinion.
All right. Yeah, I guess a lot of the difficulties you guys have mentioned have a lot to do with the the locking mechanisms and ad hoc transactions and all that. Yeah, I mean it's basically like a subtopic of multi-threading, and multi-threading is like, yeah, you need to study a lot about that. So yeah, we definitely need to do more homework on that. And also, yeah, like you just said, there's probably some technical difficulties. Yeah, we need to explore more on that and see how we can improve that. That's our goal for next week, basically. Yeah, do you guys have any more things to share?
No, perfect.
No, yeah.
All good?
No.
Mm,
All good? Okay, then thank you guys and have a nice day.
yeah.
You too.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Have a good one. Bye.